Hey gang, welcome back to Inverted Pursuits Laboratory, and this week Kelsey's going to be talking with us about her level 2 build, so take it away.
So hi guys, you probably haven't seen a whole lot of me on the channel, but I am indeed here in the background, usually behind the camera, and you've probably seen Boyson's level 2, that's the dual deploy and all the fancy electronics. Well, mine's just a jacked up version of a level 1 with no electronics and single deploy. So let's get into it. I actually went on MadCow and bought the U.S. Army Little John kit, which I thought was super exciting because I don't like to cut fins. I have fancy self-cut fins. And I bought this kit because it included like 95% of all the components I thought I was going to need. And after getting some of the things like the eye bolts and the screws for my rail guides, I realized that in order to beef it up to the where I want to be able to push this airframe, I was going to need to upgrade some of our stuff. So we went and picked up some beefier eye bolts and some T-nuts for motor retention and the rail guides and everything, and picked up some screws to go with it. But and this kit does not include a motor retainer. That's about the only like hardware thing it doesn't include. But we're going to use L brackets like Boyson mentioned for his level 1 build. But I do have a open nose cone that I'm going to have to glue a bulkhead into, and 2 centering rings, unlike the 3 that he has, a whole ton of shock cord, a 54mm motor tube, and a 4-fin body tube. Yeah.
So where are we starting?
I guess I have to drill some holes, don't we? Because I'm doing the same motor retention that you're doing with the eye bolt in the top centering ring and some fun little T-nuts in our bottom centering ring. So yeah, let's get started. What's up guys? So I'm trying to read the instructions, and obviously I'm doing some things that are slightly different, so I'm going to have to go off book a little bit. But one of the things that it says to do whenever we're doing our rail buttons is it tells me to put the forward rail button hole 7 inches from the forward end of the body tube. Now, Boyson mentioned this in his other video, and I'll talk about it here since this is probably going to be in a different video. We want our rail button to be as close to the CG as possible, as long as it's forward, I guess I should say. As long as it's forward of the CG, it's fine, but like, we don't want it to be too spread out, and based off of my dry weight, the CG is going to be right around 12.5 inches from the forward end. So that's what I'm going to go with, because as Boyson mentioned earlier, the closer the rail buttons are, the more time you have to stabilize on the rail. So that's what we're going to go with. Good lord. You're a little child.
So you're actually going to be just under your rear centering ring.
Yep.
Whereas I went just ahead of it. Slight difference in design, but it all still works out the same.
I'll go ahead and mark the front one, but I'm going to double check with one of my rocketry buddies. Actually,
You've got plenty of time to drill the front one if you don't want to.
Yeah, we'll just wait on it.
So
we'll wait. Our motor retention holes right now, and I've got a 2-inch spread. Draw my line, mark the center at 1-inch spread, and take it, use our square edge of our ruler.
Square.
Well, close enough to square. It's close enough for government work. Yeet. And I don't really care, so I'm just going to eyeball that center. Very good enough for me. And then this is, oh, I guess that was the forwards. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I don't care anymore.
That's how we've hit a point in rocket building.
Well, the only reason I had them different is because the rear one was a little bit looser than the forward one, but I'm going to sand them anyway, so I'll make them however loose I want them to be. Because this is why you always test fit, children. Oh, dang it. So this is what I get for talking while I'm trying to do things. I always test fit, children, because I found out my centering rings don't actually fit inside my body tube, so I'm going to have to sand them down. This is so entertaining for you guys at home, I know. I promise it'll get more exciting here in a minute. Alright, once again, just one side's all we need. And
Right. Let's go drill.
So I'm just going to do my bottom rail button hole because I'm not entirely confident in my upper one yet, so I didn't even work it. So here we go. Oh, I hate these bits.
You saw how I did it. Slow and steady.
Yeah. Still, it's just so wobbly. Oh, good lord. Oh, the walking. Gosh dang.
You gotta be confident and put some pressure behind it.
I just want to get it started. That's all I want. There we go.
Good job.
Rawr. Today we're going to be focusing on just cleanup and getting everything ready to be fit together. Mostly just Dremel tool work. I've gone and taken a little bit of Bondo to clean up some seams that were on my nose cone, so I'm going to have a lot of fun time hand sanding that down because I'm too scared of the Dremel, honestly. But we're going to clean up some of my fin slots that came a little bit rough and open those up a little bit because the fins are a little too tight, and some of our centering rings. Actually, it's the body too, that they don't fit in. So like Jonathan's, they didn't fit on the motor mount. Mine don't actually fit in the body tube right now. So we'll just take a couple of passes around the outer diameter of those, and then we'll set it all back up together. PSA from working with rockets so much. Always remember your mask and your safety glasses when you're working with fiberglass, because that stuff hurts when it gets in your skin and your facial spots.
Also your lungs.
Yes, lungs also.
Alright guys, so we're still here on Kelsey's level 2, but what I'm going to have her do is trying something I recently figured out, which is taking the sander head on the Dremel and running it down the inside of those slots to clean up all of the little bit of fuzz that was left over from the machining process. So let's take a look at how that goes.
Doesn't need to be super high speed at least.
No.
Gosh, I hate this. That's pretty good. Yeah.
And there it is afterwards.
This is like the worst Dremel to use because of the handle.
Well, it worked a little better on my smaller rocket.
Yeah.
But
I really like that. That works. You want to get like a close up. Oh, that's beautiful.
yeah, like by comparison.
This is the first one I've done.
Versus, yeah, if you look at that one on the outside versus the other one, I think it goes pretty well.
Yeah, that works great. Okay guys, I think we've reached a good stopping point for the day. I have managed to fit both my centering rings in my tube. I've cleaned up my fin slots, and I've got my nose cone about 99% of where I want it to be. I've still got a couple of rough areas to fix. But we'll warn you guys, one thing that Boyson and I have both run into is these tubes is if you don't clean off, or if you don't bevel the inside of your fin slots, or at least clean them off, your centering rings won't fit through the fin slots, because the fin slots actually have a little bit of raised ridges on the insides of them, so that's what I had to go do and fight with that for a little bit to clean those off. But so far so good. It's all coming together really well. Our next step is going to be mounting the centering rings to the motor mount tube. See you guys in the next video.